Greetings, friends from the Mayan Riviera. Excuse the squawking of jungle birds in the background. This is a drop to let you know that I am going to be convening a week-long Mayan Riviera retreat on between the 3rd and the 9th of May. Greatly looking forward to this. It is going to be taking place here on the banks of the Laguna Bacalar, which is HQ for the New Earth Project here. And joining me for the week-long retreat, Marcia Willardson's coming over from Nevada City, will be joining me for the week. Producer Ali will be on the ground here, and other members of the team, including Finkelstein, Rockefeller III, our little unicorn, our little miniature white pony. I'm going to be having guests over here at our base camp. We've also got a couple of luxury villas a stone's throw from here on the banks of the Laguna with boats and kayaks and all sorts. An incredibly beautiful part of the world. In the course of that immersion retreat, I have Santos Bonnaci coming in virtually. So we've got big screens set up, and I've got a bunch of friends around the world who are going to be coming in during the course of the week, and they're going to be participating in tutorial workshops as well as Q&A with the live audience here. So Santos Bonnaci coming to join us. Laura Eisenhower also coming in with George H. Lewis and giving us deep dives on astrology at the galactic level as well as at the temporal level. We'll have a lot of fun with that and a lot of Q&A fun to be had with that pair. Laura Eisenhower and George H. Lewis together being just an extraordinary coupling of that kind of cosmic talent and intuitive talent. Also, Jane Evershed and Dave Emery. Who else? Who better to walk us through archeocosmology and the correcting of history? And again, this is a subject which doesn't go away and isn't going to go away for the next few years. Why? Well, let's see. That's because of the fuckery that's going on in the world today. This theatrical production playing out of Armageddon and of world wars and all the posturing going on geopolitically and the threat of annihilation and the threat of nuclear missiles. None of that's going to be taking place, friends. And if it does, trust me, it's going to be a digital remastered nonsense coming out of the bowels of Hollywood, manufactured as a reality. And I will speak a great deal to this particular subject of how what we perceive to be reality on the screens of life is not real reality. I'm fairly well informed from behind the veil by military intelligence. Scott McKay is also going to be joining us for the retreat and in real time. And we'll do a deep dive into that element of geopolitics and of the orchestration of chaos and how it's being orchestrated. And, you know, for anyone who raises an eyebrow at that subject, just go back a little while and think about Joseph Biden and that bizarre 4 years of sock puppetry that we were afflicted with. What an abomination culturally and civilizationally to have to be put through that infantile theatrical production. It was a godless pantomime, as was much of the COVIDiocy, a very, very serious matter to be sure. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't much of what we perceive to be real is not real. And what's really real, like at the mitochondrial level, and at the level of the galactic story, you know, and the connection between Mr. Fauci's little needles and what's inside those files, and the galactic and cosmic stories, and who's controlling who and at what level and at what period in history were we circumvented or were we intercepted by these intelligences. That's all, you know, that all raises the specter of Roswell and so on and so forth. I'm taking the story back to Queen Elizabeth I and in her basement. John Dee and the alchemists of old, good figures and bad figures alike, highly controversial figures, how the third-party intervention crept into our lives. So my shtick, and certainly with this Mayan Riviera retreat. It's going to be a lot of truth, a lot of disclosure, a lot of adventure as well. We're going out on excursions. We're going to be on the waters in Chetumal Bay. We're going to be on the waters of the Laguna. We're going to be doing our best to swim with manatees and dolphins. We're going to be kayaking and boating. We're going to be going into the jungle. We're going to be checking out archaeological digs and pyramids. And it's going to be a lot of outdoor activity, not just heady stuff on the inside. But come the evenings, when we get back around the fire and the world-class cuisine that we're laying on, there's going to be stories, a lot of stories, and a lot of fascinating inquiry, put it that way. So what I intend for these retreats is what I began 5 years ago by launching the Regenesis retreats, was a fully immersive experience where we really track and trace Genesis, Archeocosmology, correct history along the way, bring it to the mechanics of ascension in these private retreats. Like my private tours, I speak a great deal to these subjects which I'm not able to speak to in social media or in the public domain. So that for me is the joy of doing these private retreats. Okay, so that again is May the 3rd to the 9th. You can sign up below. I may try and make sure that the information that's posted here is correct, and Onyx and the social media team will start to syndicate this. I'll be doing a few more drops in the coming days. And I'll try and get a couple of our icons on to help promote this retreat. People nervous about cartels swarming around in Mexico. It's not the case. I haven't seen hide nor hair of that nonsense. So again, be careful what it is you're reading about and choosing to believe. We're not seeing any weird cartel activity here. There's no one. I haven't even heard anything on the grapevine. So this is nothing like Tijuana, nothing like northern Mexico at the borders of the United States. This is the Mayan Riviera, close to Belize, incredibly beautiful and Pacific, and just very, very calm and beautiful part of the world. So please don't concern yourselves about the security implications. I've been having a footprint here for the last few years, and this is now my home as we take forward the project out here. We've had a few challenges along the way, which I'll be speaking to in the course of the retreat. But again, geopolitics, the change of climate, the change of economy, all these different factors coming into play. How do we navigate through that stuff individually and collectively? How do we move into resurrection and reclaim full autonomy? That, of course, is the central theme of what it is that I'm going to be focused on in this inspired week-long immersion retreat on the Mayan Riviera. So, finally, 3rd to the 9th of May, Santos Bonnaci joining us remotely, Laura Eisenhower, and George H. Lewis, Jane Evershed, Scott McKay, and Dave Emery. I'll also be showing a great deal more about what's happening with the New Earth movement around the world, things that we are in negotiations and in treaty, the process of treating at a government level and the level of royal establishments. I'm not able, again, to speak in social media about these things because they're highly sensitive, highly controversial, very, very disruptive to the status quo. But I will be sharing a hell of a lot of fascinating information real time on the developments of the New Earth micronations around the world, how that all dovetails into the New Earth Exchange and the Treasury, and our own economy, which is launching on April the 1st. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well, for the launch of the New Earth Exchange on April 1. And that's going to be an online summit at the front end of the Lazarus Symposium coming up on the 1st of April. So we're conjoining the launch of the New Earth Exchange with the front end of the Lazarus Symposium. It'll be a particularly long Lazarus Symposium on 1st of April. And that, my friends, is that. Stay tuned for more updates in the coming days. Much love. Hope you can join us in Mexico on the Mayan Riviera between the 3rd and the 9th of May. It's going to be a life-changing experience. Of that, you can be certain. Bye now.